Welcome to all Caribbean entrepreneurs. If you've been ready and waiting to take your business digital and get paid online while you sip something strong on the beach, this podcast is for you. We'll hear from the Caribbean's finest entrepreneurs on topics like e-commerce, business development, brand building, social media, their wins and failures. This is the only place in the region helping you navigate the digital age from the Caribbean's perspective. This is Digipreneur FM. And now, let's give it up for the Digiboss himself, Mr. Karan Rose.
Thank you, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Digipreneur FM podcast. It is your boy, Mr. Karan Rose, and we are live and finally in full effect for 2022. DJ, please fade me out, DJ. How are you, wonderful people across the globe, doing? How is my Digipreneur family doing in 2022? Have you kicked things off in a manner that makes you feel good? I don't want to say I hope you guys have hit the ground running because, boy, the truth is, it's been a long 2021. Even though it flashed before our eyes, it's been long for a lot of people. And I think this is the first year where the excitement to start a brand new year, fresh, rejuvenated, my excitement just wasn't all the way there for, 2022 starting. And I think this year I've really just been kind of easing into it because the reality is that time is a construct. We still have a lot of the same things going on, before the clock struck 12 and the date flipped over to January 1st, 2022. So I've really been easing into this new year. And honestly, again, if 2021 was a hard struggle, and again, you're still feeling it. You're still feeling it as this year kicks off. Don't worry. Take your time to get into it because we know that, after this week, the rest of the world is going to, kind of be coming away from their breaks, their New Year's breaks or their Christmas breaks. And, the world is really going to be starting all over again. And it's going to be full pace ahead. And this year, there's just so many changes. There's so many things happening. There's so many different variables that we have never seen before that is going to put us in a state where we really need to be learning, as much as we can, see the opportunities that are going to be coming forth on the table for us. Once we can see the new opportunities that are coming out, hopefully you have been positioning yourself to be able to seize them. But then at the same time, too, you really have to balance, putting in that work to go and grab the opportunities and also, balancing your own mental and physical health because an opportunity might come your way and you just might not be in the best place physically or mentally to jump on that opportunity. Again, COVID's been taking a beating on us, and again, people are we're figuring it out. We are figuring it out. But enough of that. We're kicking things off with our first episode of 2022. And this episode, we're going to be diving into 5 key skills to learn for 2022. Right? I mean, as much as there's so many new technologies that are coming out and, some have been evolving and things are merging together to create new opportunities for us across the Caribbean region, there are still some skills that are kind of fundamental. And if you really want to be able to take advantage of all the new things happening, these are 5 solid skills that you're going to want to learn, invest in, and have a good grasp on. That way you have that foundation. So anything new is going to be coming on top of that foundation. All right. So let's get into this week's episode. All right. So now, even though the digital space is moving at light speed, folks, all the new variables like the metaverses, NFTs, cryptos, and so much more, these baseline skills should be learned because of their increased importance. The biggest one for me personally, and something that I'm going to be spending a lot of time on, is learning how to build your digital strategy. Now, we like to glamorize individual channels, mediums, and skill sets. So I'll give you an example. Somebody who is specializing in Instagram, we fall into this pitfall where we try to overvalue that one platform because of our vested interests in it. If we are an Instagram coach, well, we want to, hype this up to a point where it gets to a point where people start to push it like it's the end all be all, right? So we learn certain skills, we learn these channels, we hype them up and make them seem more important than they are in the grand scheme of things. They're important, but not in the overall grand scheme of things. And we do this from a selfish place because we want to get more people to kind of buy into us as a coach, right? We want you to, buy into us as an Instagram coach or buy into us as an Instagram service provider. That way, we get more of your money, right? We get more of that wallet space, right? But while all these individual pieces that we're going to kind of touch on are all important, the reason why I say that, for me, I really, really want to dive deeper into digital strategies because having a holistic digital strategy, you understand where all of the pieces and platforms and strategies and different channels and mediums, you start to understand where everything comes into play. And then you're going to be able to craft a strategy to a specific business in a specific industry that is personalized for them, utilizing all of the channels and the strategies and the tools that we have at our avail, right? So while it's dope to, specialize in one thing. So if I'm an Instagram coach or a LinkedIn coach or a Facebook coach, while it's dope to specialize in one thing, people need to be mindful that we don't overhype the value and we don't try to sell it as the end all be all, right? Because ultimately, you're going to hurt your clients in the process. So when I see people telling, and they're jumping on social media and they're saying, well, you don't need a basic thing like an email list. You could just, you have social media. And it's like, no, it serves 2 different purposes and you need both. And if you understand why you need both, your business is going to be in a much healthier place. All right. So let's dive into it. So the 5 skills. So I spoke about, the thing that I want to intimately, dive into. That's actually my skill number 1 that I have listed here today. So skill number 1 is digital strategy. In this fast-moving digital space, you will no longer be able to simply specialize in just one platform or only focus on one platform. In 2022, you need to learn how to build an ecosystem around your brand and weave all aspects of the digital channels and tools into a cohesive, digital, consistent footprint. You need to be able to meet your clients where they are at. So if you have clients who you could get on TikTok, you're going to need to learn how to properly use TikTok and be able to grab that attention and grab that space on TikTok. You're going to have people who are going to be on Pinterest. You're going to have people who are going to be on Facebook still. So again, you need to learn what platforms are available, what tools, what channels, what mediums, what strategies. Are we going to be doing ads this year? And if we're going to be doing ads, are we going to be running, ads on Facebook or ads on TikTok? Or are we going to be doing pay-per-click ads over on Google? Right? We need to understand how all these things work and take the time. It's a lot. It will be overwhelming. Like if you're starting from scratch, it will be overwhelming. But you either need to start to, learn these things for yourself, take the time to learn them for yourself, or you need to outsource it to people who know better and that can guide you throughout the process, right? But, just having a business and saying we're only going to be on LinkedIn or we're only going to be on Instagram, that's not going to cut it. You need to learn how to build that ecosystem so your brand is omnipresent so that you are able to meet your clientele where they are at. Right? As much as you hear people talk about video being the most consumed or the most persuasive medium, that's not where everybody is for your clientele. You're going to need to have video. You're going to need to have, your written content with your blogs on your websites and stuff like that. And you're going to have an audience that wants audio content. So it's going to be up to you to learn all of these different things and see how best you can create a nice, personalized digital strategy where you're going to be able to meet your clients where you're at, and you're going to have different ways to connect with them via different channels and different formats, whether that be written, video, or audio, right? And pulling that all together. Skill number 2, you are going to have to learn content creation. Without a shadow of a doubt, you are going to have to learn how to create content for your business or your personal brand. Man, even if you are looking for your next job, I have gotten more job offers and opportunities creating content than I've ever gotten applying for jobs with a resume. I'll say it again. I have gotten more job offers creating content and putting my thoughts and ideas out there in my particular niche than I have applying for jobs. All right. So with the explosion of platforms like TikTok, the growth of podcasts and video becoming an even bigger staple in the sales process and marketing process, learning how to create everything from short to long-form content is going to be a critical skill to have this year. People are Googling. When they are Googling, every search that people do has a different intent. Are they looking for something? Are they trying to get information? Are they trying to conduct a purchase? You are going to need to have content that addresses all of the concerns for different parts of the journey. And remember, not everybody consumes content the same. Not everybody consumes content the same. Look at your own needs. Look at your own habits. So for me, I watch a lot of video, but I can only watch video in a specific situation. So I work from home, and I would typically watch video if I am eating food. So my meals, I'd watch video. If I'm just waking up and I don't feel like leaving the bed as yet and I just want to scroll through social media, I would quicker watch video then. And maybe before I go to bed, you might catch me watching video. But for me to watch video, it has to be really select situations. And also, I only really watch video from specific people now. Like I hardly just look at new video content, right? And if I do, it's usually because it's 3:00 in the morning, I can't sleep, and I'm just aimlessly watching random stuff on Facebook, random videos on Facebook, right? That being said, podcasts. I listen to a lot of podcasts, but again, podcasts I listen to in specific situations as well. So when I want to consume something, but I also want to multitask. So if I'm washing the dishes, I'm listening to a podcast. If I'm at the gym, I'm listening to a podcast. If I am traveling or I'm driving, I'm usually listening to a podcast. So In situations where I can multitask, I want to listen to audio only content. If you are somebody that only has video content, you're missing out on you don't even know how big your audience is for audio only content. Or you don't know, even the people that are watching your videos, what people fail to realize is that when people are watching your videos, there is something called watch time. And you might have a 1-minute video, but the average watch time for your video is 10 seconds. But you might have 50,000 views. Well, if the average watch time is 10 seconds, but you got 50,000 views, that just means that people have landed on your video and watched it just enough to register as a view before moving on. That's not good. People are not watching. They're not watching your video despite the views, right? And half the time, people will, half the time people that like the video is because they're just supporting you and moving on just to help your video grow throughout the algorithms. And then if they're leaving a comment, you have to gauge, and I know everybody does this, right? We read the caption and respond based on the caption without watching the video. And and people that create video, you know who's watched the video and you know who's just read the caption. But if they're just reading the caption, it just goes to show you that written content will never die. Written posts will never die. Blogs will never die. And the reason being is because written content is the quickest content to consume. Think about that. It takes 2 seconds to read a caption. But if your video is 1 minute long, I have to watch that video. That's 1 minute gone, right? At least with a podcast, I could turn the podcast on and do other stuff. So I don't have to focus on, just doing the podcast only, right? But blogs and written content will never die because they are still the quickest content to consume. And if you are creating written content, you have to get really good at understanding what is the best type of written content that allows people to scan. Because people are going to skim through that content. They're going to scan it. They're going to skim through it. So help the process. And how do you help? I love to do list-based written content. So I would say 5 reasons to do X, Y, and Z. And then list it out point by point. That way somebody landing on the blog can quickly skim through the blog to get the gist. And if they want more information, well, the more information is there. They just have to read through the rest of the article, and they'll either do that if it's interesting enough, or they'll save it and they'll come back to it later, or they'll bookmark it, and whenever they want, whatever they need, the rest of the information or whatever, they can always go back to it, right? So again, understanding, and this goes back to, the digital strategies, the digital strategy skill set, understanding where everything fits into the overall strategy. Do not overhype something simply because you like it. So if you only like video, don't overhype video, because not everybody is watching your video. Not everybody is consuming the video. Simply because, and it's not to say that, they don't find you interesting, simply because I might not be in a situation to watch the video. And we rarely go back, right? We rarely go back. Like, I don't go back to video content on Instagram or LinkedIn or Facebook. But if the video is on YouTube, I would go back to it. I might, like it. I might save it. I might do something. But at least I know that I could jump on YouTube because it's a search engine. If I ever need to go back to that video, I just search back for the video, type it in the search, and it comes back up, and I'll go and rewatch it. We don't have that ability on social media. So once again, strategy. If you also want your videos to be watched and people to go back to it, is those videos are you only uploading those videos on social media where it's a pain in the ass to ever get back to that content? And people save videos or save posts on Instagram all the time, and they never go back to that save folder. And half the time it's because when they go back to the save folder, they've realized, oh crap, I done saved 5,000 things. And it's just cluttered, right? But when your content is on your website, people can easily jump on Google and search and get back that exact piece of content. If your video is on YouTube, people can jump on YouTube and go and search and get back that exact video. So again, overall digital strategy, you need to start learning and understanding why we would do, why we need YouTube in the mix, why we want TikTok in the mix, why we want to be able to make blogs, why we do podcasts, and then see how best you can craft your strategy to hit everything. Because you should not be dictating how people consume your content, especially as a business. It's one thing if you are a content creator and you don't have a business, you're just creating content just to put it on YouTube, or you're just creating content for social media. Hey, this doesn't apply to you. But as a business, you should not be dictating how your audience consumes your content. You as a business need to have a digital strategy and understand all the different pieces and be able to get to where your audience is, get to where your client, your future clients are, and serve them information that is tailor-made for that particular platform that you are creating content for. But then you also want to be able to have, a mix of video, a mix of audio, a mix of written content. That way, and short form and long form content. That way, you can check all the right boxes and build a nice, cohesive digital strategy, and your brand will be omnipresent, all right? Woo! Skill number 3. The third skill you should be looking at building as a nice baseline skill for this year is market research. Listen to me. Learning how to do market research across digital channels and learning how to segment your clients are going to be a big part of your digital success. You need to learn the search intentions of your audience in order to craft the right content, solutions, and products for them. We have access to so much information on our competitors and our audience. You should not be making a decision without doing the market research first to see what the data is telling you. I don't know how anybody is doing ads. And the 95%, I'm going to be bold. I'm going to be bold and I'm going to be rude. 99% of the companies in the Caribbean, I have not met a company. I have not worked with a company. I have not met a company. I have not met with somebody who worked at a company that did digital market research and did social listening and did social media listening and extrapolated all that data, put it together on a table, and built a strategy around that. That does not happen. It doesn't happen. And it's because the people that are in these departments in these companies have not upskilled and added this to their repertoire to be able to help the company. And I don't see people offering the service of digital market research, right? People are still going by, a team gets together, they do a brain dump, and they put all their biases on the table and make a plan based off of that. Or at best, they do a focus group, and you base your entire strategy off of what a group of 10 random people have said. All right, people who you believe to be in your target audience. But if you had the data, you might realize that the people that you brought into the focus group are not even the people who are who are searching for your stuff, right? And even when people are looking to make an in-store purchase, the decision-making still happens online. They're still Googling. They're still visiting your website. They're still watching reviews. They're still seeing what people are saying about your products and services. So they're still doing all this research online before they even step into the store and do business with you, or pick up the phone to even call your sales rep, or call you if you're a solo business, if you're a solopreneur, right? So learning how to do that market research to understand your audience, what they want, learning how to do the market research that if you decide to run ads, you know exactly what you're going to be filtering for, or what variables you're going to be putting into the tools you're going to be using. Like if you're going to be using Google AdWords or Facebook marketing or Instagram marketing, you need to be knowing who you're going to be, what information you're putting into the tools so that you can target the right people. You need to be doing the research for that. Right? And don't just be looking at who's seen your Facebook post or who's seen your Instagram post. No. That's not enough. That the information that Facebook and Instagram give you in terms of your audience insights is next to nothing. It's next to nothing. We don't even use that when we market research specialists are conducting our market research or putting our stuff together. We're not even looking at the insights that Instagram is giving you, because there are tools that give us 10 times more data. So if you are only using, what you're seeing as in the insights on Facebook or on Instagram, you're doing this all wrong. All right. So learning how to do digital market research is going to be a major, major, major fundamental skill if you want to have any form of digital success. And remember, there are so many new things coming on stream. So many new technologies coming on stream. How are you going to know, what's going to make sense to add to your mix if you don't know how to do the market research? All right. So that's the next skill. Next up, what do we got? That is number 4. Yes, that's number 4. The fourth skill that you want to be able to learn is search engine optimization. Google is estimated to have changed their algorithms between 500 to 600 times last year. They have even started indexing TikTok videos, and they're looking to add Instagram to that list. Learning how to get your content discovered by the number one search engine is mandatory. Learning how to get your content, your products, your services discovered by the number one search engine is mandatory. Search engine optimization specialists are going hand in hand with content creators, because when you become a SEO specialist, you start to interact with all of the tools that extract the data from the search engines, which you can then turn into a digital strategy and a content marketing strategy, so that when you're creating content on social media or even on your website or YouTube, it's backed by data. But if your business doesn't have SEO specialists, again, you're not extracting any data, right? So SEO, that skill set is going to be big, because even when you've done the market research, you still need somebody that is going to put the content on your platforms and get it optimized for you. That way the search engines know what to do with it. So when someone is conducting a search, your content shows up for the right questions or queries. But it has to be optimized. So that is a skill set that every single organization needs. Your web developer is not an SEO specialist unless he is an SEO specialist. So just because he built the website does not mean he's an SEO specialist. These are two different skill sets. There are two different niches. Somebody could build a website and have no idea about how to optimize it. All right? And SEO is not a one-time thing. You don't do it one time. SEO is an ongoing thing. And if you are producing content daily, it is a daily thing. If you are producing content every single day, SEO is an every single day thing. All right? So that is a major skill set that you want to learn within your business, because as a byproduct, it's going to put you in contact with some tools that are going to help you do market research. And then it's going to allow you to then optimize the content that you put out the best way possible. And then it's going to help your digital strategy, and it's going to help your content strategy, right? You see how all these skill sets are kind of blending together? Digital strategy being the overall thing, but all these skill sets support each other, right? The fifth skill that I am going to say you should learn as a baseline skill for 2022 is copywriting. Whether it is writing out the best captions to support your content, or scripts for your videos or your blogs, mastering your copywriting is fundamental across any strategy you're going to employ this year. If you are writing ads, if you are doing emails, if you are doing push notifications, if you're sending out SMS blasts or WhatsApp blasts, you are going to be typing, you are going to be writing. And if you are writing nonsense, foolery, hogwash, The chances of you converting these people into fans, into brand ambassadors, promoters of your business, the chances of you converting these people to clients, subscribers, turning this stuff into shmoney is going to decrease if you don't know how to write good copy in your business. Copywriting is everywhere. You post a video, you got to write a caption. You write a blog, well, you got to write a blog. If you are, scripting out ads or scripting out podcasts, you're writing. So copywriting is major. It is a major skill. It is a major skill. And I know some people are going to say, oh, well, I don't like to write. I'm not that good at writing. I'm good at talking, so I could do videos and talk. But remember, you still got to write a caption. You still got to write a post. You still got to use words somewhere. Right? So now as painful as it is, learning copywriting. And, don't think that copywriting has to be this corporate and formal, things that you guys are writing out. But there is ways to build persuasion, to build excitement. And, the people that are, the variety of people that teach copywriting as a skill all have different styles. So again, just paying attention that is actually a high-paying skill set, a high income-earning skill set. It's a very important skill set. You should definitely focus on learning the art of copywriting. That way, again, it can help you with a variety of things, from writing your ads, scripting, writing your captions. You're going to use this stuff. You're going to use this stuff. And nothing supports your stuff better than a well-done piece of content. So let's just say you do an IG carousel. And it's not a video. It's a picture post, and there's again minimal words. So even that you gotta be clean and precise on the words if you're doing carousels, because you don't have a lot of room to be putting out heavy text on an IG carousel. It's got to be to the point. That's copywriting. And then supporting it with a nice caption, copywriting, right? So that's my fifth skill that I am going to say is going to be a fundamental key skill that's going to, again, transcend. I mean, it's going to be a nice baseline skill, but you're going to be using it in every single thing that you do. You might as well take the time to start taking some copywriting courses and learn how to write better copy so that you can hook people into your business and you can craft the right content, the right ads, and all that good stuff, all right? So those are my 5 skills that you should be working on for 2022 as a baseline. How did you guys enjoy the first episode of 2022? We are on episode 55, and if I can get the exact number before I move on, I would confirm, but I believe we are on episode 55. Yes, we are, episode 55. Wonderful. We're pumping. We're going. I feel, you know what? Again, as I said at the top of the podcast, 2022, I'm I'm kind of easing into it. And, I just realized that, right before I turned on the podcast to start recording, I always have a little concert going on. Anytime I create content, if I'm writing a blog, I'm doing a video or a podcast, I always have a mini concert before I do whatever I got to do and hype myself up, right? And if I'm writing stuff and I don't have to record or be on video, then usually I have a concert while I'm writing. So I got really hyped up before I came on here. And I was just talking about, like I said, easing into the new year. And as this podcast, started to go on, and, that my hands are flying, I'm getting into it, I just started to feel pumped. I just felt my energy raise and just start to feel yo, I'm ready. What are you talking about easing into 2022? Dude, we ready. We here. We ready. We want to do this thing, man. Like I'm excited for so much of the opportunities. Right? I'm excited for the opportunities. I'm excited, to work on me and work on my fitness and work on my mental health and read. I'm excited to write the upcoming Digipreneur book that is, gonna be, that's gonna be my key thing for this first quarter, this first and second quarter. I'm getting this book together. So I'm excited for these things, I'm excited for these things. I think I've eased into the year enough. I think 6 days was enough ease into the year. But just doing this podcast episode, like I said, I just got that sudden energy. I just got that sudden rush of energy. And I know that the Digipreneur family, once you guys, hear this episode, once you guys hear that laugh in the beginning, once you guys hear that opening instrumental, that music, that intro, I know you guys get hyped too. You guys tell me you guys get hyped. Once that podcast episode drops and that intro turns on and you guys hear your boy and you guys start rocking with me, I know you guys get your energy turned up too. So, that's great, man. That's great. I hope all of you have a wonderful year in 2022. As much as I want to tell you to get after it, there's so many opportunities that are going to be coming our way because of all of the new advancements and things that we have access to in the Caribbean. I also want you guys to be mindful of yourselves. Please take the time. If you're not feeling it, if you are not feeling it, if you need to take a break, if you need to rest, take the break. Take the rest. COVID not going nowhere. And the last place you want to be right now is in any healthcare facility for anything. I don't even want a plaster for my health clinic right now. I'm not going. I done finished get my COVID in November. I good. I real good. I don't want to see no health facility right now. Right? So whatever you guys got to do to maintain this year, know when to push. I'll say this. Know when to push yourself. Know when to pace yourself. Know when to push yourself. Know when to pace yourself. Because we got a lot of hurdles. And we've seen how fast 2020 and 2021 flew by, right? Pace yourself this year. Know when to push. If you feel like you're coming to your end, but you need to push a little bit more, really stop for a second and analyze, where you are at. If you can push and grab that opportunity, because that could be the opportunity to change your fortunes, right? But if you really feel like, hey, I need to slow down for a bit, again, opportunities come, they go. Who knows? It may come back again. It may not. Something else might come back down the line. If it's for you, it's for you. If it's not, it's not. But pay attention to your body. Pay attention to your mind. I don't want to hear you guys burning out this year, right? We need to protect each other. We need to protect all of our Caribbean entrepreneurs. And if you're not in the Caribbean, we need to protect you too, because entrepreneurs make the world go round. Entrepreneurs are the ones creating all these opportunities, creating the businesses, creating the employment, growing the economies at scale. It's the entrepreneurs doing that. But the entrepreneur community needs to take care of itself. We need to take care of each other, right? So don't buy into go, hustle. No. Know yourself, know when to push, know when to pace, know when to just relax, and know when to just turn off. All right? That's the message for the top of the year. Know when to push, know when to pace, know when to turn off. And don't be afraid, and don't worry about any judgment, and don't buy into anybody telling you to go, because that ain't it. I realize that I have never experienced burnout in my journey thus far, because on a regular basis, when I don't want to work, I just don't work. I don't think I've ever intentionally said I need a mental health break, or I need a break. I think I did that like once, but it was not because of burnout. It's for something else. But when I don't want to work, I don't work. That's just been me. And luckily enough, I've been kind of doing that on autopilot, and I've realized that has helped me. That has saved me without me even intentionally knowing I was doing it. When I don't want to work, I don't work. But when I push hard. All right. And then when I need to, pace myself and just do little small things, I will do small things. But one thing I will also say is I will always try to do at least one thing for my brand every day. That one thing could be an email. That one thing could be a picture post and just a caption. But I always try to do at least one thing every day. That way, again, keep up with my consistency. The brand's still building, because that one post might be the reason you land your next deal. It might be the reason you got your sale. All right. So try to do at least one thing a day. And a tip for that would be, find out what would be that the minimum thing that you would do in your business per day. So for me, if I'm not feeling it that day and I know I need to relax, I would at least try to put out just a static post on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. So I might post a tweet pic or a picture and a caption. Or I might look through my catalog of posts and repost some old content. Repost some evergreen content. So not every single day do you need to be creating. No, go back from minimum 3 months, go back 3 months and older, and look at an older post that you can grab that's still relevant to where you are right now. Archive that old post if it's on Instagram. On Facebook or LinkedIn, you don't have to worry about that. But grab that older piece of content and repost it, and that could be that minimum thing that you do for that brand, for your brand that day, and go and relax. All right. That's it for me. If you enjoyed this week's episode, please don't forget to like the episode on whatever directory that you are listening to this on. The reviews, if you can, please, I beg you, drop a review if you are enjoying the content. The reviews, the likes, they help grow the Digipreneur family across the globe. All right. If you haven't been following me on social media, do check me out at Karen Rose. I am at Karen Rose on every single platform: LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. You guys can follow me on those platforms. I drop a wide variety of content, from my short form to my long form content on those platforms. And I give a lot of behind the scenes on my Instagram stories as well, to keep you up to date with what I'm doing, and I'm having fun and interacting with you guys as we go along as well. All right. That is it from me. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Have a wonderful start to this year. Take care.
You've been listening to the Digiboss, Karan Rose. We hope your notepad was filled after this episode. Make sure to like, rate, and review the show. The learning doesn't stop, folks. And to make sure you don't miss any gems from the Digiboss, go over and follow him on all social media platforms at Karan Rose. Folks, don't just sit there with a notepad. We need you to implement at least one thing into your business before the next episode. That's the only way your business levels up. Thanks for listening to Digipreneur FM. Now go be great.